This is the middle of a new day. Today is Wednesday, October 29th, and it's 4:24 p.m. I just had a wonderful massage with a teacher, a sister, and a healer that's in my life. So just deep gratitude for this connection and how we came together. All of that, the deepest of honor. I have been given this day to use as I will, and what I do today is important because I'm exchanging a new day of my life for it. When tomorrow comes, this day will be gone forever, leaving in its place whatever I have traded for. I will pledge to myself that it shall be for gain, good, and success, in order that I shall not regret the price I paid for this day. My thinking and my attitudes, they're calm and they're cheerful. I act and I feel friendly towards other people. I am tolerant of other people, their shortcomings and mistakes, and I view their actions with the most favorable understanding possible. I act as though attainment of my goals is sure to happen. I am the kind of individual I aspire to be, and everything I do and the way I feel expresses this individuality. I will not allow my judgment or my attitude to be affected by negativism or pessimism. I try to smile as often as possible, at least several times a day. I respond in a calm and intelligent manner without alarm, no matter what the situation. If I cannot control a situation, I try always to react in a positive manner, even to negative facts. I know that if I apply myself to forming habits to enable me to act in the above manner, it will have a positive influence on my self-image in a most constructive way. By making these actions a part of my life, I will notice a definite growth in my self-confidence. Thank you so much. And they're right here, right by me. It's October 29th, and it's a new month, a new time, and just for a moment, I'll share with you all a oracle deck. Let's use this side. An oracle deck that I've had for many, many years now. I don't remember the exact number of years, but probably around 10 years. 2016, 2017 is probably when I picked this up. I wish I had put the dates. How special would that be if I had some dates here? 26th of September the 20th, so at least 5 years I've had this deck. And it's written by a tattoo artist. I don't know if now they still have it together, but Justine Cerebrin. And they came to visit San Francisco one year in a beautiful artist show that took place at a hotel. Just one second. And these were the cards that I've had since September 9th. Action, leap, and metal. This was during a time of the summer turning into fall. And during these moments, I was, activation was big inside. Activation and intention, as well as action, leap, and metal. These were the themes or the supporting tropes, we can call them, of that time. And now as I head into the fall and the winter time, having completed one of the big goals of mine, which was legitimize in name, organization, materials, outcomes, and actualization. One workshop for kids between 13 to 18 by the beginning of November 1st, 2025. And I'm very proud to report that not only was it, yes, legitimized in all of the above, but I hosted two, one on October 18th and one on October the 25th. Such a blessing to be able to begin. The journey's far, and I think that's where it's important to say, I'm not giving up. It's not a one and done, but actually just the beginning of an exercise of excitement, of repetition, to know that one thing has been created, that vehicle has been created, and now it's up to me to maintain and actually take the vehicle out for drives. And so I'm so blessed by the support that's been around me, especially the community center Casa Ceiba, which is actually in my neighborhood, just a few blocks from where I live, which was a miraculously beautiful space dedicated to the arts, theater, music, youth. And they presented their shared location with me for free. And we're just excited to see my program grow. So with all the families as well, parents that were hearing about the workshop Magico Lab here in Oaxaca being made, it's really special to have that become actualized. And so we're just going to come back into these cards now. Something that I really love about oracle cards are, it could be a tarot card deck. It could be something else, something that you've just drawn on a piece of paper, but something that can resonate and actually read the energy that one might be circulating in their body, whether it's past, present, and future coming. But to have that be revealed through a deck is call it the medium, or I'm trying to think of like generator or something that can take in energy and then conduct it into something else, another form. That's kind of like what oracle cards do. We're just looking at paper in some ways. 21 looks so special. I'm just gonna read that one out loud for y'all. Such a beautiful design of this deck. 21, Galactic Portal. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Galactic Portal. Cosmos, transcendence, extraterrestrial, deep understanding, clairsentience, knowing, belief, and art. This is the passage. Some people believe that there are things beyond our human comprehension. What do you believe? We may not know or have the words to describe what we know, but it doesn't mean we don't know it. Tapping into our deep understanding to trust what our heart tells us to be true, even without physical proof. Begin the work of trust by channeling through and giving expression to the impressions you experience through any modality you choose. This card is asking you to trust your inner universal knowing, not your fear, anger, ignorance, or confusion. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is true in this current situation? Well, that was a wonderful one to have come through. And next, let's just start with one. And usually what I've been doing is kind of asking what guiding card is for this next period of time. And usually the way I work with these cards is first, I like to close my eyes. You can keep your eyes open as well. But within the back of your mind, just imagining now that connection from your root, from your sit bones, the place where your two glutes touch your chair, or maybe it's your bed, and just feeling that draw. I also like to check in with my feet that are flat on the ground now, and the way that the cool earth is feeling on my skin as it connects to the earth, and having some of that feeling between the two, the channel of the two, rising up with the energy from the center of the earth, and then pulling it through my feet, through my legs, through my thighs, up to my glutes, and just feeling that rock, that foundation, sit there, full and breathing. So as I do that, I then connect into the place right above my hips, where our sexual organs are. And this is the place of birth, often of creation. We feel in our sensuality and sexuality, not in the general sense of always being horny or having sex, but more of the bringing of to life, the dance, the tantric, the creative, the fluid movement. When we think of Shakira and where she's moving from that area, moving the energy up now towards that gap between your belly button, that space between your belly button and the area we just talked about, the sensual organs, the second chakra, and that in that space, what we call our dantian, or just this huge cavern of warm, rich energy. You can imagine a huge lake, pristine, clear, transparent, or you can imagine a fountain of energy just fountaining all that into your body, up now through that area right below your rib cage. In that area which we call the third chakra, where the tips of your ridge meet that abdomen area, that is our manifestation. That is where our confidence, that is where we are able to express without being rejected in the world. And in that space, in that, call it vortex, in some cases I imagine it's a swirling ball of yin and yang energy, of hands moving. In that area is our power to be seen, to be heard, to be known, to be felt. And in there, it's that connection with our circle of life around us. In many ways, that could be the middle of our medicine wheel. That is the creator stone. That is the manifestation of what here we are, human in the world. And then I imagine, before I even touch into the cards, and oftentimes I'm closing my eyes and feeling the cards and just letting my senses dictate which one should be coming to us at the time. In this case, to describe the theme to consider and remember for this next season of life, however long that could be, a month, in this case, September 9th to now October, almost 2 months. But imagining now that moving up to the heart area, the place of gratitude, of love, of recognizing the communities, the humans, the connections that we have heart to heart with other souls on top of this earth, on this earth, past this earth, our lineage, our ancestors. Here in Oaxaca is our beautiful celebration of the Day of the Dead. And when we recognize animals of past, children of past, perhaps even our past selves, and our ancestry, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our teachers, the teachers that have walked before us, whether they are ones we've known intimately or those that have come from past lives. But here we really recognize as well the healers, the seers, the wisdom holders that are on this earth and have crossed this earth, leaving their teachings for all of us, and then feeling our heart open up as the connection from that feet all the way into our sit bones, our glutes rising up to the dantian, the sensuality, sexuality rising up to our third chakra. All of that in future fountaining, expansion, balance. And in this time, recognizing so much of what we've got around us, our altar practice, our communication with the deities that some of us might have built relationships with, and the deities or the spirits or the ancestors that some of us wish to make relationship with. And it often just starts with this meditation, and then also starts with asking, hey, can you reveal yourself to me at this time? Or a simple, what is your name? It makes me think of my dragon elder, who I won't name in public here, but is pink and iridescent and comes from my lineage from Taiwan to China to the United States. All of this in line with the Nandi spirits, the great bull and guide that I have, as well as the other spirits of the medicine wheel. And the other part about feeling into this body, this connection of you being a conduit for spirit as well as earth energy, is this fifth chakra area, the throat. When we are able to express and not feel ourselves shut down and be rejected and not have the opportunity to say what needs to be said from our heart, or sometimes even our mind, although those can be different, our throat doesn't feel activated. It gets shut down, and then we're at a block. And so to have that sense of being able to communicate and to express our truth, having that come from that throat area is priceless and such a gift to have. And then as we imagine the energy moving up now through into this area, which we call the sixth chakra, or our intuition space in between our forehead, you often see this depicted in ancient pictures of this third eye area, where we're able to imagine, envision, see the future, imagine it vividly, and bring what's inside of our mind into the world around us. And as we imagine a bubble, a sphere enclosing in onto us, our third eye and energy moving from the back of our head through our third eye, and this blue energy reaching through, and then our sphere getting wider, as well as the same time the energy moving through up from the ground up to the sky in terms of this axis building. Here we are able to sit inside of our imagination, which can come through often with abundance and wealth, and then our gifts being manifest onto this earth. And then lastly, this part above our head, which is our connection to our purpose, a connection to spirituality, connection to something that's higher than ourselves. It might be where the word impact really flows. And then through this connection, through it all, having this cycle reaching up into source, coming back down to our head, down to the chakra, down to our throat, down to our heart, down back into our chest area, that space below our ribs, into the dantian, into the area of sensuality and sexuality, and back down into the earth. And then feeling this connection now as we get wider, as we feel our glow, our energy, and us free, sitting in between heaven and earth, between left and right, and our glow glowing through the trees, the chairs, between the ground and the earth between us, and then getting wider and wider, going out past the next city block, to the sky above us, to the basements and the ground and the earth below us, and feeling our glow connecting with the rest of the world and the humans that are also glowing. There's a beautiful podcast called the Telepathy Tapes, where people are expressing their ability to get to know intuition and what comes through. And here we are, not just alone in this earth, but with ourselves, with spirit and the circle of life around us. And even as the noise amps up, you can tell we aren't alone. And so now, as you've done that bit of meditation, or you could, of course, just skipped right ahead to feeling the connection, we next hold up our cards. And then some people just draw a card right away. Some people don't even look. Some people take their time to put their hands over the cards. I like just to fan them out and with my fingertips start to touch each individual card. And then I like to put into my mind the question that I'm asking, which is the theme or the things to consider or what needs to appear now at this time to describe the next season of life. What would be supportive? What would need to be shown at this time in what to consider and to hold preciously during this next time. And here with this work too, it's so important to trust. For example, to explain some of what in my head, went, oh, is this the right card? Is it not the right card? There is definitely a lot of mind chatter. And so that's when it's, advisable to come back and be more certain and just have it happen. Less thinking, more choosing and trusting. And so right now I've got these three that we're going to talk through. But these are the three that have needed to come at this time. I guess maybe it's 4. I didn't expect more, but right now, we'll stick with 3. Here's the first. Visionary. The visionary card represents the opportunity to transform and expand how you see the world. Your current experience, your current perspective, comes from how you interpret your experiences and envision yourself. To become a visionary, you must practice the universal flow of change. Surrendering to flow is a skill set that's cultivated. It takes practice to be calm and have awareness simultaneously. What is happening right now that you need to picture differently? What do you feel is your biggest obstacle to getting to another vantage? Being a visionary requires that you're able to take into consideration the needs of others in addition to your own. Passing through phases of empathy and grief, which are the rite of passage. Let yourself grieve the loss of one image of success in order to align with success itself. Wow. That one's definitely giving me chills, and something that I have been asking. I just finished a goal, and so in one ways it's time to really grieve that it's time to let go and begin to build anew. Visionary, awareness, perspective, vantage, synergy, oneness, future, history, grief. Wow. What a beautiful, beautiful card. I haven't gotten this one in a long time, or ever really. Water. Adapt. Emotion. Endurance. Fortitude. Expression. Continual movement. Water is the most powerful of the 5 sacred elements. It can be slowed for a time, but never stopped. Eventually, it will wear down even the tallest of mountains. It has few enemies and will adapt its ways with fire to become steam. If water is in your cards today, you're being asked to stay with the program. Don't give up. Water may not be able to see every obstacle in advance, but it relishes the opportunity to be fully what it is, flexible. This is the time to embrace all your quirky, unique ways and surrender to the magic that occurs when they are used synergistically in all you do. All of my quirky ways used magically in all that I do. You know, in this beautiful water card, and I think it's made of watercolor, there's deep hues of indigo and deep hues of blue, along with mixtures of green and teal and shades of seafoam, thick lines, thin lines, spaces of white. So beautiful. Thank you so much for being able to pull this card today. And I'm definitely noticing, right, with visionary, it meant grieving, letting go, and being open to change. And then here it's saying, change is here, flow with it. And here we go with the third card. A lot of blues. I had no doubt, really, of the blues that we were going to have in this time. And I'm wearing blue. Kind of unreal. 46. Third eye. Well, I certainly pulled 2 eyes. The natural world brings us the whoosh of the wind, the grittiness of earth, the heat of fire, and the cool, smooth sensation of water. There it goes, the elements mentioned once again. But at any given time, we're privy to information that comes from everywhere around us. It's the third eye energy center, our internal voice of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience that receives spiritual details before we see, hear, or feel them in the physical realm. At this time on the planet, we are cultivating our telepathy as a natural response to the Earth's changes and continuing spiritual shift. This shift moves us from a victimized perspective and hypervigilance into an empowered telepathic state where we can consciously receive all the information we need when we need it. When the third eye card chooses you, you've arrived at a profoundly important fork in the road. You can now decide to be accountable for all the details of your life, fortunate, unfortunate, or indifferent. Intuition, apparition, essence, spiritual force, telepathy. And I think this is one more. And there you have it. Passage of the day and just a little bit of insight into oracle cards and how they show and are a vehicle for what might needs to be said at this time. Take care, everybody. Yo soy Felipe y